I'm gonna kick my butt.
Was Kung Fu Panda 4 awful, like some people said? If you want my opinion, the answer was no. It wasn't very good, but it was an okay film. I will tell you why. Hello, and welcome to my second movie review on TP Trailers. If you're like me, you're a DreamWorks enthusiast. You like most DreamWorks films, but when it comes to sequels, they're hit or miss for me. So, about sequels, I actually have never watched Kung Fu Panda 2, which I heard was epic, but I think I can get the gist of it. I did see 1, 3, and 4, however. So, here I am to talk about Kung Fu Panda 4. Let's dive into the plot firstly. Spoilers. We have Tai Lung returning from the dead somehow, attacking some oxen who apparently have their own language. One thing you can see right away is a noticeable dip in animation quality from the previous films, even though the lighting was done well. Meanwhile, Mr. Ping is with Li Shan and hopes that Po will return soon to them. In case you are unfamiliar, Mr. Ping is Po's adoptive father, Li Shan Po's biological father. Are they gay? I don't think so due to this being ancient China, but it's possible. So Li Shan calms Mr. Ping down and says if he knows their son, he's chasing rays right now. And indeed, this is what Po is doing. He is saving some children from a giant flying stingray, and then when he's done, he goes to the opening of his co-parenter's new restaurant. While there, he lets it be known that the Furious Five are all on independent missions right now, so they can't come. Then, Master Shifu tells Po it is time to talk. He is very grumpy in this film compared to in others for some reason. He tells Po it is time for him to become the new spiritual leader of the Valley of Peace. Anyways, he is told he needs to check out the candidates to become the next Dragon Warrior, including one who has Mr. Beast's voice. Unlike some who find this annoying, I find this scene hilarious due to the fact that Po has barely aged, and now he has to suddenly pick a new Dragon Warrior like it's a game show or something. Po tries meditating, but is distracted by his many voices.
How many voices do I have in there?
You do not want to know. I just love Kung Fu. What am I going to be? Leave me alone and kill this.
While trying to be a spiritual leader, Po discovers and arrests a fox thief by the name of Zhen. She tells him that the Tai Lung who returned was not Tai Lung, but the chameleon, a shape-shifting evil master. She says if Po releases her, she'll guide him there. Her character design is really cute, by the way. Zhen, not the chameleon. Meanwhile, the chameleon disguises herself as a crime boss to hear what crime bosses are saying about her taxing them, and find out they think it's impossible for criminals to make an honest living anymore, and that they detest her. She turns back into herself, and then into Master Elephant to push one of the criminals down the stairs. Sorry, DreamWorks, but this is a terrible first victim for the chameleon. He's a criminal. Who cares about him? So fast forward a bit, and after going to Happy Bunny Tavern, then going to Juniper City and getting chased by the police, and then meeting Zhen's family of criminals who raised her, Zhen brings Po to the chameleon, but then betrays him, and it turns out she's working for the chameleon. However, eventually she apologizes. Li Shan and Mr. Ping, who came to help fight the chameleon's Komodo dragon army, convince Po not to give up and that sometimes change is good. The chameleon, whose backstory is that she resorted to evil sorcery due to being rejected from Kung Fu for being too short, ironic because there's Mantis, meanwhile waits for the blood moon to rise, and then when it does, she harnesses the Kung Fu of all the other villains. When Po arrives, she turns into Po to fight him, finally turning into a hideous, gigantic beast. The former villains don't know who they should be rooting for, locked in cages. Po then is locked in a cage by the chameleon, defeated, and tells Zhen she'll have to fight for him. She does, and defeats the chameleon. Then Po breaks out of the cage, revealing he could have the whole time, but wanted to see if Zhen was trustworthy enough. Also, this happens.
Maybe Oogway was right about you. You aren't completely useless after all.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. See you on the other side. Dragon Warrior.
Seeing that Zhen evolved from a thief to a good friend and honest fox, he decides to pick her to be the new Dragon Warrior, much to Shifu's chagrin. She gets to start training with the Furious Five to become the next Dragon Warrior. So that's it. But how was the movie? The good things included the humor. My two favorite scenes were by far Poe's Many Voices scene and the Juniper City chase scene, both of which knew how to be funny in a good way. Zhen, unlike some who found her annoying, proved to me to be a nice character. Li Shan and Mr. Ping were both funny. The chameleon's animation is pretty cool, her transformations. The whole plot is hilarious due to the absurdity of Poe needing to retire so soon. Jack Black's end credits Baby One More Time tune was a good tune for ending the film. Now on to the bad stuff. The premise that Poe needs to retire after only being the Dragon Warrior for seemingly a few years is absurd and annoying. Also, a personal thing I would have liked is if Poe would have given the title of Dragon Warrior to Tai Lung, who really deserved it, but they didn't. Shifu being grumpy the whole time isn't my taste. The score wasn't memorable, unlike the others. There is no depth. Unlike the other films, this one has a fart joke. I mean, if it was in a franchise like Shrek, or even Despicable Me, it would make sense, but not here. As the budget was slashed in half from the third film, the animation looks noticeably worse, except for the chameleon, whom I'm guessing they put the most effort into. And then we come to the worst part of all, excluding the Furious Five. Who thought that was a good idea? Oh right, the directors. So all in all, this film wasn't awful. Yes, it was probably a cash grab, it was actually a little good. So in conclusion, I give Kung Fu Panda 4 a 6 out of 10. It is something I could still recommend you watching, though it's by no means great. But anyways, that's me at TP Trailers, and I'll see you sometime soon.